Imagine this, Google, the 21st century tech god we rely on for everything, gets broken down to bits. No Chrome, no Android, no search engine that predicts your next thought. Sounds insane, right? But this isn't just some wild what if. This shit is about to happen for real. The US government is coming for Google, and if they win, it will change tech forever. But here's a question, has this ever worked before? And can breaking up Google actually fix system or just unleash chaos? Stick around because this is going to be messy.
We begin today's show with what's being described as the biggest antitrust case of the 21st century.
Will Google be broken up? The search giant is in the crosshairs of the US government, and the stakes couldn't be higher.
Certainly, I mean, it's the first time that we've perhaps seen Washington really trying to break up a major tech player since Microsoft, and that was unsuccessful about 2 decades ago.
Google didn't just become the king of the internet just by accident or playing fair. Ever wondered why every phone, every browser, every app you open defaults to Google? It's not magic, it's money. Every year, Google pays about $26 billion to companies like Apple and Samsung just to keep its search engine front and center. The Department of Justice, they're calling it bullshit. They say Google used these deals to choke out competition and lock itself in as the undisputed search giant. And guess what? A judge agreed in August, calling this exclusivity deal as illegal. Now, the DOJ isn't just asking for fines, they want to rip Google's empire apart. But the next question is, can US really break Google? Oh yeah, they have done it before. This isn't the first time Uncle Sam has brought a hammer down on a massive monopoly. Google wouldn't be the first company to get fucking dismantled by the US government. In 1991, the US government shattered Standard Oil into 34 different companies. And guess what? 2 of those companies, ExxonMobil and Chevron, are still giant today. The same year, American Tobacco Company was split into several smaller firms after being found guilty of anti-competitive behaviors. Then came AT&T. In 1984, the US government broke up the Bell system, splitting it into smaller regional companies known as the Baby Bells. It was the biggest telecommunications shake-up in history, and it completely changed the way we communicate today. And let's not forget the one that almost happened.
Despite this ruling, we believe the courts will ultimately find that all of Microsoft's actions have been completely legal and good for consumers.
In 1998, the DOJ went after the Microsoft, accusing them of using their dominance to crush competition. A judge initially ruled that Microsoft should split up, but after years of appeals and political pressure, the company narrowly escapes the axe in 2001. So yeah, when the US government says it's ready to split up a company, you better believe they can get it done. The big question is, will they actually pull the trigger on Google? This isn't just about punishing Google for playing dirty. This is about $175 billion. That's what Google made from search ads alone in 2023. The DOJ argues that Google's monopoly has driven ad prices through the roof. Without the real competition, advertisers has no choice but to pay up. If Google's grip loosens, it could lower the price across. But the real shockwave would hit the deals Google's make with companies like Apple. If Google stops paying billions to stay the default search engine, who steps up? Will Apple finally embrace competitors like DuckDuckGo, or are we about to see Apple build its own search engine from the scratch? Let's talk about who is waiting in the wings if Google goes down. AI-powered platforms like Perplexity, U.com and OpenAI thinks that they have what it takes to change the way we search online. Their goal? Go beyond traditional search and create personalized AI-powered assistants that feel more human. But even if they nail the tech, they have one major problem: ads. Without ad revenue, search engines don't survive. And Google, they own the entire ecosystem. That's why the DOJ isn't just talking about breaking Google apart. They want to force Google to open up its ad network to competitors. But let's be real. Do you really think Google's just going to hand over its crown jewels without a fight? Hell no. If Google loses this battle, it won't just impact Google. It could downsize big tech as a whole. The DOJ is showing just how far they're willing to go to shift the balance of the power. The idea is to turn big tech mid to medium tech, smaller, more agile companies that can't crush competitors so easily. But let's not forget, regulatory actions move at a snail's pace. This case started in 2020 and Judge Amit Mehta's final decision might not come until summer of 2025. And even if the Google fight backs, the distraction alone could be devastating. Just like what happened to Microsoft. The antitrust fight back then pulled resources from Microsoft core businesses, and that's how exactly Google pulled ahead. Will Google suffer the same fate? Its AI rivals are hoping so. Google's AI ambition might become the biggest casualty of this fight. Just as company needs to double down on AI to stay ahead, legal battles are tying them up. Meanwhile, Google's rival like OpenAI, Anthropic, and Elon Musk XAI are raising billions to push their projects forward. If Google gets bogged down by antitrust cases, they might not be able to keep up with the AI gold rush. Here's the thing, breaking Google apart sounds simple, but in reality, it's a shit show. Even if the code forces Google to spin off Android and Chrome, there's no guarantee that it will change anything. The reason? Network effects. The more people use Google services, the better they get. And even if Android and Chrome go their own way, they'll still want to partner with Google. Why? Because billions of people already use Google search. And let's face it, old habits die hard. Here's where things get really interesting. The DOJ isn't just asking Google to stop making shady deals. They want Google to share its search data with competitors. Google says, fuck no, that's private user data. But competitors like DuckDuckGo argue that it's possible to anonymize the data and still make it useful. And the truth is, they're not wrong. Microsoft had to do something similar after their antitrust case in 90s. The world didn't collapse. So if Google's forced to share its data, it could unlock massive opportunities for competitors. And let's not forget, handling over your secrets is like giving your rival the playbook the night before the championship game. And we all seems to be forgetting one thing about Chrome and Android. If Google gets split up, what happens to these tools? Right now, they are free, but as independent companies, they might start charging. If Chrome goes subscription based or Android demands licensing fees, the ripple effect could be massive. Phone prices could skyrocket and companies like Samsung and Sony would be left scrambling. Some people say that's just a price of progress, but is it worth it? This battle isn't just about search engine or ads, it's about the future of AI. Google's rival fear that if company locks down AI, we are looking at the next monopoly. Case in point, Google's Gemini AI hasn't launched on iPhones, probably because Google is trying to avoid more antitrust heat. If the DOJ wins, Google might have to share its AI technology with competitors. Imagine what smaller AI startup could do with that kind of firepower. The possibilities are endless, but only if the courts take the swing that counts. Remember the 20th November. That's when the DOJ will present its full case to the courts. Will they swing the hammer and shatter Google's empire? Or will Google's lawyer pull off a last-minute miracle? Whatever happens, this case will shape the future of tech for decades. Will it lead to more startups, cheaper ads, and real competition? Or are we about to blow up everything for nothing? What do you think? Is it time to bring down Google's empire? Or is the government just fucking around with something they don't understand? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And hey, if you like this no BS deep dive, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe for more such interesting content. See you soon.